Hey, well, hello, Galen. Just thank you very much for spending time with us today. We just want to make the really quick video to talk about your dog Watson after starting Gussy's gut. Just what first, let's start by telling us about Watson's condition.
Yeah.
It's a condition I'm not familiar with, so tell us just briefly what it's called and what it's about.
Yeah. So Watson, when he was a little puppy, he was diagnosed with bilious vomiting syndrome, and it essentially, my understanding of the disorder, the illness, not illness, disorder is that it's he just gets excited about food, and his stomach anticipates food well before it's mealtime, and will build up a lot of stomach acid in his stomach before a mealtime, and so he'll get sick from all of that acid buildup and will vomit on a fairly regular basis. A lot of times it happens overnight at 2 or 3 in the morning, which is great. Or in between meal times during the day, if we didn't feed him at lunch. So, we've been dealing with it for years and years. He's about 7 years old now, and he was diagnosed when he was probably 2 years oldish. So it's been a struggle for us to figure out the right treatment and what to do. And the vet has always said, well, we'll just do the treatment is really just feed him at different meal times. So breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and try to do breakfast really early in the morning and dinner really late, right before bedtime, which always helps a little bit, but has never actually uh, cured him to say. Like, he would still throw up every once in a while. Typically, like every 2 to 4 weeks, would have a bout of throwing up at night, which would be fun to clean up. So
Mm.
that's Bilious vomiting syndrome.
Wow, that's tough on the sleep and
Yeah.
the carpets.
Yep. Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So what is the how does it look like? I mean, so if somebody doesn't has never been diagnosed, just real quick, like so they anticipate their stomach they create these stomach acids, but
Yeah.
what I don't understand is why he would vomit in the middle of the night, like at 2, 3, 4 a.m.
Yeah, it's a good question. I'm not exactly sure I understand the answer either, but
Hmm.
it's really, my understanding is it's just anticipation that he's going to get food for breakfast at 7 or 8 in the morning. So his stomach just starts building up acid really
Wow.
early in the morning, even at night when he's sleeping.
Wow. Wow. That's pretty cute, but the manifestation is not so cute.
Not so much
It's
at
very
all.
food driven. Okay, so you started when did you start Gussie's Gut? I actually don't remember.
Yeah, so I believe it was June, we started Gussy's Gut. It's
Okay.
September, mid-September right now. So I think we've been June, July, August. So about 3.5 months of consistently using Gussy's Gut now.
Okay. And were you using it every single day?
Yeah, so we did a teaspoon once a day for his evening meal. So typically we feed him at 9 or 9:30 p.m. at night, just to try to push that meal as late as possible.
Yeah. And like because he wasn't vomiting every single day. When did you notice or thought to yourself, "Oh my gosh, he hasn't vomited. What is happening? What is it?" Then you
Yes.
started to look for the reason.
Yeah, it started. I would say it took about 6 to 8 weeks for us to really notice a difference. So, in June and July, he probably had, definitely had a couple bouts of vomiting overnight, and it seemed to be normal in June. July, it definitely seemed to be a slowdown, right? I think we only had one instance where he threw up, but ever since mid July, he's not thrown up a single time. And so the only change that we've made was adding in Gussy's Gut to his diet. His food is still the same, like veterinary prescribed diet. He's still, you know, we're at the same house. There's been no environmental changes. We've not added anything else to his diet or anything else, nor to his exercise routine. So it's really just been the addition of Gussy's Gut, and he hasn't vomited in probably 6, 7, 8 weeks now.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah, because as of this recording, it's been about 2 more months since
Yeah.
you've noticed that. Yeah. Well, it's really interesting that you say 6 to 8 weeks. And I have not, I've not been able to talk to or meet anybody with this condition, with a dog with this condition. So for all I knew, it could have happened. You could have seen results in a week. I had no
Right.
idea. But we always tell people the real magic of what uh, fermented foods do for dogs really happens in weeks, literally 6 to 8.
Well, that's great. That's exactly what we saw too.
Yeah, and we say it could happen as soon as 4 to 6, but really we notice that that is where the most common window is 6 to 8 weeks. All right. Well, listen. What any other changes, real quick before we end? I want to make this a brief video. So, any other changes that you noticed? Energy, you know, vibes, joie de vivre, any of that?
Yeah, yeah. So he's a Jack Russell Terrier mixed with a hound cattle dogish mix. So he's always been a hyperactive, very excited puppy. But yeah, he's just definitely seems happy and definitely seems to love the Gussy's got. He definitely looks forward to that meal in particular. His veterinary diet that we're on is not particularly appetizing. He's eating a hydrolyzed protein diet by Royal Canin, so he never looks forward to that meal. But when I dose it with little Gussy's gut, he does enjoy that much more. So uh,
Oh,
yeah, that's about the changes that we've noticed so far.
oh, that's nice to hear. All right. Well, I know you have a 7-month-old that you've got to get to, baby.
Yep.
So thank you for your time this morning, and thank you, Watson, for being a great example. And I hope he has a good nap.
Same. He always does.
All right. Thank you, Galen.
Awesome. Thanks, Rob.